Hi, Allie Schuyler here, and today I'm doing my weekly interview with life coach Lisa Brick as part of my Personal Growth at the Speed of Life series. And today we're talking about the word alone. I came up with an acronym for it based on a blog post I wrote last year where I was feeling kind of alone, and I went to a service at the Center for Spiritual Living, and Reverend Frankie there kind of did a 360-degree turn on the word and said that you can also see alone as being all one. So we're never really alone if you think of alone as being all one, because we all come from the one. So I'm here to get Lisa's very brilliant and unique take on the word alone. So Lisa, how are you?
I'm well, Allie. I'm very, very well tonight. Thanks a lot. And with springing all over, it's brought me out into the garden. And I was looking at a single flower out there. And I had just read your post, and I was thinking it could be perceived that this flower is alone. And from that perspective, the flower appears with our sensual equipment in human body as being alone. But when I look at it a little deeper, I realize, is it alone? Is there any truth to alone for that flower? Would it exist without the oxygen around it? Does it exist without the soil that holds its roots, or the microorganisms that help feed it from the soil foundation, or the clouds that go by and drop rain, or the gravity that keeps the soil in place so the roots have a place to live, or the sun, which couldn't exist independently without the solar system. And so as I was reading the post, and I was thinking of alone as truly all, this concept of all one, but because of our sensual equipment, because we have eyes that individualize items, that we don't see in wholeness, we see particulars, which is fabulous, but doesn't allow us to really celebrate the always all oneness of wherever we are, whether we're a flower or a human being. I mean, even when we fall, we don't fall forever. There's a floor that catches us. When we breathe, there would be no oxygen if it wasn't for the trees and photosynthesis that take our carbon dioxide, breathe it in, and reprocess it as oxygen. Or the delivery people that took our food to the market, or that created the car that we get into, or invented the telephone, or installed it in our house. We always have, in all ways, an infinite community of support around us. And yet, I acknowledge that sometimes our egos can't feel that and discount it, and we feel very alone. But there is no reality of ever being truly alone in reality.
So what would you say to someone who's feeling very alone and very isolated and separate? What would you say to them to remind them that they're all they're part of the allness, of the oneness, even though they may be feeling alone, which you mentioned you think is more of an ego thing, right? It's more of an ego
Absolutely.
mind
I
thing.
would begin to question, who is this I that feels alone? And I would say, absolutely, be with the grief that you may be feeling in those moments. Acknowledge the emotions as true and real, but look at who is this I that's suffering so in the illusion of aloneness, and then what is a step, a single easy step that one could take in appreciation of the community we have. It could be as small as the chair that we're sitting in, or the heat that's pumping up in our house.
So it's not always like when a lot of times when people feel alone, it's more so they feel alone because they're not connected to other human beings. You're saying that if people can focus on the fact that they're connected to other things, other energies, other vibrations that are around us that may not be in human form but are still there to support us, that can start the process of feeling more connected.
Yes. Yes. And when we start looking at who is this I that feels alone, we'll realize that who that I is, it's a component of, what is it, they say 7 trillion cells, that we can't even be alive if it wasn't for multiple microorganisms that live in our gut.
That's right.
So are we ever alone?
Yeah, probably a ton of parasites hanging out there with you too, you know?
Absolutely, could be, all in this, harmony. So the point you brought up is just absolutely brilliant. It's begin to open up who we're in relationship with, in addition to human beings who aren't always around. And I would say, thank God.
That's right. Sometimes it's very cool being alone. As us mothers and wives and parents and working parents all can relate to, sometimes being alone is very cool. Oh, that's awesome. I like that. I like the image of the flower too. I like that. Very nice.
Sounds like a call.
Oh, well, it's perfect timing because I was just going to say, well, thank you, Miss Lisa Brick. You can find Lisa at www.powerandpurposecoaching.com. And this is Allie Schuyler signing out so that Lisa can go get her coaching call. Thank you so much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
All right. See you later. Bye.